The French market is where the city pretends its hungers are holy. Fish still twitch in their baskets, while men haggle with fingers slicked in scales. Women fan themselves with sheets of yesterday's news, while sugar sticks to their lips like secrets. The air smells of vinegar, sweat, and the blood that runs from the butcher's block into the dirt, until the dirt itself learns how to chew. I walk through with my scarf tied red and my basket balanced on my arm. Men look away. Women pretend not to see. Children stare and then giggle, daring each other to say my name out loud. They whisper, Maman Ébène, like a spice they can't decide is sweet or bitter. The stalls are a catechism of appetites. Oyster shells gleam like little moons. Eels sleep in a heap. A fig seller calls his fruit cathedral sweet, while he wipes his nose with the same hand that pinches the stems. I pass the vinegar woman who believes she can frighten germs with a loud voice and a clean ladle. I pass the man who sells spices by scent alone and never measures, swearing his thumb knows the difference between nutmeg and greed. I pass a barrel of salt that has married sweat and refuses to be separated by any priest. It is there, between a heap of oysters and a stall of figs, that I see him, the butcher with arms like barrels and a blade that flashes like a rumor that will end a marriage. He smiles with all the sincerity of a taxman who offers you a chair. A poor woman stands before him, cheeks caved in by worry, counting out her coins, thin ones worn like teeth filed down too often. Her boy clings to her skirt, coughing the cough that chews from the inside. She asks for pork. He weighs the meat, but I see the trick. A stone tucked beneath, the scale tipping heavy. The cut is gristle and rot, trimmed to look fair but foul beneath. The butcher laughs when she protests, and the laugh smells of tallow and wine. His knife thuds on the block, like punctuation on cruelty. I do not step forward. Not yet. The swamp has taught me patience. Some lessons a man must carry home in his own basket before he knows what weight is. The woman pleads. The child coughs so hard his eyes water. The butcher's face closes like a door in a storm. He wraps the meat and tosses it a little high so it smacks her chest, and she startles and fumbles and nearly drops it into the market mud. A few men laugh. Not because it is funny, but because they need to remind themselves they are not the ones wearing poor people's ribs under their shirts. I bend at a pepper stall and buy a handful, slow as a prayer. The boy sees me. Children always do. He meets my eyes and doesn't look away. The butcher, too, looks at me. Just a flicker, and in that flicker I see the ledger he keeps in his head. He keeps two kinds of accounts: meat in, money out; cruelty in, power out. I have known men like him since the ship. They do not become priests. They become butchers or judges or men who collect debts with clean fingernails. I follow the woman at a distance, watching the line of her back and the set of her shoulders. She talks to her meat like it is a rowdy relative. Stay good, stay quiet, stay what I need you to be. At a pump, she rinses the paper quick and dabs the slick away. A fly lands, and she huffs it off with more dignity than a queen. Her house is a room with a shutter that tries to be green and a stoop that tries to be pride. When she unlocks her door, I turn and go the other way. There is nothing to be gained from knocking. Some doors open better when the night comes and has already told the truth. That afternoon, the market is louder than church. A trumpet player practices a sad song behind a fish stall and then plays it faster because his woman left him last month and he has learned he can keep money longer if grief dances. A boy drops a basket of okra and the cursing sounds like prayer in a different church. A nun buys onions and pretends she doesn't notice the man who slips her the ripest ones because he has decided God must like her. Everywhere the eye tries to rest, there are knives. Small ones in women's dresses for cutting twine. Big ones in men's belts for cutting arrogance from the air. The butcher's knives are the brightest. He polishes them when he has no customers, strokes the steel like a child's head, finds himself handsome in the shine. Do you ever sharpen a kindness? I ask him as I pass, not stopping, just walking slow enough that he knows it's meant for him. Do you ever buy meat? He shoots back. Or do you feed on fear alone? Oh, I feed fear, I say, but I do not eat it. He grins, and in it there is the boy he must have been once, handsome and hungry and praised for being strong. Men mistake the praise for a house. They move into it and stop building anything else. When I reach the end of the market, a wind from the river carries the smell of storm from far away. A promise for later and a reason for men to pull their hats down now and pretend they were prepared. I stand against a wall and listen. The city tells me its temperature. The market tells me its pulse. The butcher's block says it is tired and wants to be a table for a gentler house. I put my hand on the wood. Let it feel the cool of my palm. Bear it, I whisper. For one more day. Night in New Orleans wears its hair long. It trails over balconies and into alleys, tangles in live oak limbs, collects the smell of wine and piss and bread and sweat, and makes a perfume the city pretends it does not wear. Some nights the wind refuses to blow because it likes to hear secrets settle. The market sleeps, but the butcher does not. His knives begin to sing. Not aloud, no, their song is in marrow. They hum with the hunger of every animal he has ever cut, every bone he has ever cracked. The song vibrates his teeth and tickles the inside of his skull. He tries to set the knives aside, but their voices follow, sharper than mosquitoes, closer than breath. He scrubs his hands with lye until they bleed, but the blood he spilled today lingers, red as a lover's lip, bright as a lantern's flame. It crawls back between his fingers into his nails, whispering that flesh remembers who betrayed it. He pours rum over the block. He lights a candle to St. Joseph because he once heard Joseph was a carpenter and carpenters make good fathers. But the rum soaks in and the candle gutters out and the knives keep humming. He drinks the rest of the bottle and hears the hum in his stomach now. A low growl, a butchered cow remembering him. The meat in his stall writhes, though the doors are locked. He sees maggots blooming, fat and white, wriggling through sinew. He screams, but when his wife runs to look, she sees only clean cuts, marbled and pink, ready for morning. She calls him drunk. He knows better. Drunkenness does not whisper his name from the belly of a hog that should be silent. At dawn, wild-eyed, he comes to me. His coin hits my stoop, bouncing like a lie. He does not kneel. Men like him never kneel unless forced. Take it back, he begs, sweat crawling down his back. Quiet my knives. Silence the meat. I'll pay. I look at him, the barrel of him, the knife still sheathed at his belt. You weighed your soul as you weighed your pork, I say. With stones. With rot. He curses because curses are the only prayers he knows. The cypress behind me rustles, though no wind moves. You will give payment, I tell him, and not the kind stamped by kings. What do you want? His voice cracks. Gold? My stall? I'll give it. I want your thumb, I say, the one you use to press down the scale. His face goes white as butcher paper. You're mad. The swamp doesn't take paper money, I answer. It wants flesh. He pleads, he bargains, he offers barrels, hogs, even promises to feed the poor from now on. Promises are wind, the swamp likes bone. At last, shaking, he places his hand on my block. The knife, his knife humming still, gleams in my grip. He closes his eyes. I cut swift, cleaner than he ever cut in his life. The cypress drinks his cry. The river sighs. I drop the thumb into the water where the roots drink deepest. Payment taken. Debt settled. He stumbles away, hand bound in rags, shame gnawing louder than pain. His knives fall silent. The meat stills. He will butcher again. Men return to what they know. But each cut will ache, and each time he weighs flesh, he will remember that scales remember too. At dawn, the poor woman finds a basket on her stoop. Pork salted proper, wrapped in linen. Enough for her boy to eat until the fever loosens its grip. She asks no questions. Mothers never do when mercy arrives quiet. She feeds him, and his cough softens. He sleeps. She whispers thanks, not to me, but to the night. And the night carries it where it belongs. As for the butcher, men in the market notice he weighs lighter now. He speaks less. He laughs. Never. His stall prospers, but his eyes dart whenever a woman in red passes near.
Down where the river eats the land, she walks with Cypress hand in hand. Red scarf burning in the night, lantern eyes fear her sight. Sword and cypress, smoke and rain, she's the mother of the lost and slain. Masts will burn and priests will fall. The river keeps a name through all. Jars of breath upon the shelf, stories whisper to themselves, laugh that breaks a hunter's will, teeth that bite when torches spill. Sword and cypress, smoke and rain, she's the mother of the lost and slain. Masts will burn and priests will fall. The river keeps a name through all. Oh! Exile's just a land-bound word. Water speaks and she is heard. Every drum in Congo Square beats her power through the air. Salt and cypress, smoke and rain. Maman Ébène walks again. Masks will burn and priests will fall. The river keeps her name through all. Salt and cypress, smoke and rain. Maman Ébène walks again. Masks will burn and priests will fall. The river